Hi Libra, and welcome to your love forecast with the love Dr. Melissa Joy. We are here to take a look at what is going on in your love life. Now, interestingly enough, in my meditation beforehand, the word cantankerous came out for you, and I was like, what is that all about? So talk about a little bit of adjustment going on, and we got the Moonology deck. Ooh, emotions are running high, and have faith in your dreams. So maybe a little more tenaciousness as opposed to cantankerousness. That can be like snarling and biting at the hand that tries to feed you, tries to help you. And you might even be trying to help yourself and resisting yourself. Libra is the scales, right? It is the balance of oneself. So where are you struggling and arguing and fitting and frowning with yourself? And a frow, an old woman. What is on my plant up there? That's interesting. Like some higher perspective. Bring me some higher love. Maybe even change a bit of your playlist right now. Nothing is yet set in stone, and show the world the real you. Okay? Don't think you know what people want from you, number one. All right? Give it a chance. Give yourself a chance to experience it without trying to create the experience and be in control of the experience, all right? Give yourself some space. That's interesting. And it's funny because you put the True Heart Tarot deck to the side, and you're like, let's start with the crystals. You wanted to take a peek in here about this. Nothing is yet set in stone, and show the world the real you. The full moon in Aquarius. Interesting. Let's get a little bit here of what is going on for Libra. I see a standing up to yourself, standing up. Whoops. Maybe rocking your world a little bit, standing up for yourself, and you're like, yeah, I don't know where to stand. It feels like it's foundational shaking. So maybe you're at a transition time of the Saturn return that generally they say it's 28 years, but it could, I've seen it occur in people as early as 23 years, up to like 29 years. Some foundational revolutionary changes. There's often something very stark, very drastic that occurs that is eye-opening or takes a shift on the path, a hard turn. Okay, so we've got red garnet. Maybe it's in your finances and prosperity, because that's often Capricorn. Carnelian is coming forward, which is very nourishing, nurturing, and restorative to the heart, like foundationally in the heart, calling back your true love for yourself. No longer feeling like you have to get it elsewhere or deciding how it's going to come to you, but just getting into the feels, into your nature, and doing things that are nourishing for your soul. Michael says, yes, that's true. What you doing, Michael? You sending love to Libra? Is that what you're doing? Some of you, it may be this kind of divine love for a moment. Getting a pet that you love and adore, not just one that takes up space in your home, but one that takes up home in your heart. Like, he's my buddy. We go out and we play and we do things. And being that I had gone through cancer this last year, there was a lot about going out really far for long extended periods of time by myself that was a little unwise, but having him with me, he gives me courage. So you might also choose to check out the Leo reading, because courage was showing up there, and that courage and strength to go beyond my understanding, to follow my heart. And with that, you have aquamarine showing up, which is really interesting because that has a lot to do with Pisces and Aquarius, this type of energy going on here, where showing the world the real you, putting it all out there for the world to see. And that doesn't mean TMI and all your nakedness. It's talking about those things that you kind of kept in reservation because they didn't seem to fall with the status quo or the norm or whatever else. Maybe it's even your style of artwork. Like, my artwork is kind of different, but it has its place. You have your place in this world, Libra. I want you to know that. So you're okay. You're wanting me to get a look at the dark. Coming out of the dark first. Ooh, sugar glider. The star that you are, again, that's a reiteration of Leo coming on in here. Talk to us about the star that Libra is. Some of this foundational truth coming on in. Getting in the nature of love. Ooh, Queen of Wands. They talk about sweep it up, clean it up, the space from under your feet. So the word that is associated with Libra in the zodiac is beauty, and is coming from Venus. And Venus might have been how you saw Sometimes it's other females in your life, but Venus is about to become very male, very masculine. It might have been a little bit of the dark side, because sometimes Venus gets the rap for what's going on with the dark Venus, which is more Karen out by Pluto. Maybe some disempowering that you've been feeling. It's like, clean it up. Give yourself a vote for the vision and the beauty that you choose to be surrounded with. Beautiful are the feet of those who bring good news. No more defeat, my friend. And I love it. We have, okay, so it is feminine energy because we have the orchids showing up here. So maybe it's where you've been sharing the Netherlands with, okay? Or maybe even neglecting your self-care and your beauty care, okay? So take that into consideration. I would like to get a little, Pitman, 7 of Hearts up under there. A little shaky, little grounds quaking. Maybe there was a lot of rebellion, a lot of testing and trying and pushing yourself beyond what's truly you to be the hip, the cool, the attractive, the divine, the whatever anybody else wants that draws them in. Attraction and beauty are not the same thing. Okay? Any more than water and Kool-Aid are the same thing. Okay? Water, Kool-Aid is water that has been changed and transformed. So this Queen of Wands is talking about be yourself, be true to yourself. It may seem like it's not much or like you don't stand out, but she's like, I have a different point of view. Is laying down sideways. You know, oh, there's that Aquarian move going across again. Aqua, aqua, aqua. All right, the cosmos is trying to make their way to you. It's like you're laying down the job. It said you're not letting us in. It's getting that moon mind, that moon-eyed, being shifted and swayed each couple of days and like changing and changing and changing and changing and changing. Phasing out, that's like caterpillaring and never becoming the butterfly. Going through the morphs and the juvenile phases, but never stepping into the mature phase, the one with the true rewards of what your heart truly desires. This is under carnelian. This is what your heart is saying is foundational for nourishing you. There's no way around it. Like if you want to write a book, you need to know how to read and write, okay, to tell your story. Put the work in. Put the work into the discovering of yourself, your true self, not whatever you want to display for others to be attractive. That's not the same as beauty. Beauty is being true to who you are. It has to do with humility. Now, it's interesting that this hard work is sitting here. So some of you may want to go into the Gemini part 2 reading and hear some of that going on to get a clue more about that. All right, we're going to get back into the dark. Let's get into this aquamarine since that's where you're taking us next. And then we will weave back in with the garden. Unbelievable. I see you. Divine protection. New starts. Challenging situations. Luring, baiting at the end of yourself. Temperance. The 6 of Swords. It's like still just maintaining, entertaining these energies that serve no one. You might be like, oh, got what I want, and then move on. Oh, got what I want, and then moved on. It served no one. They are poor investments. They're distractions and micro destructions that just keep you in the cycle of that. Keep you in the cycle of despair. And revelation of rising up again and then getting snared again and then going into defensive mode is very squanderous of life's beauty, life's force, your source life force, okay? Your source, where everything is coming from. The story stays very distorted and it just keeps going around. It keeps going around like eventually at some point sit down in the canoe. Quit rocking it to get the squeals and the screams and the attention and the attraction and that whole thing. Sit down. Be still for a moment. Calm your energy. Ooh, aquamarine. Okay, so it's saying nothing is yet set in stone. and they mean, and you're not a stone that is set yet either, into the fixture where you feel that's limiting. Going into a career is what we're talking about here. You feel that's limiting and beneath you, and it's going to be boring, and that's what old people do, and that's so they don't know how to live, and that's stale. That's kind of what you're saying here. There's some of that going on up under there, but the truth of the matter is like you're missing out on the bigger part of who you are, the rewards and the joy and the whatever else, because yourself wouldn't bring you to this if you weren't in it. You're missing a whole big part of yourself because you're refusing to look at that. For some of you, that could be your 10th house, okay? Your midheaven, seeing what house that's in, what sign that's in, and what planets are in there, okay? So let's get in. It left with the Ace of Wands at the top, which is good because that is what the Queen of Wands is using to sweep this all out. Now, that indecision or the waiting to decide, they're talking about WAD. You're waiting out, and that's not far enough to swim. And you're saying, and it's not far enough to sink either. So there's some fear going on there. Maybe you have fear of what adults did in your life, of like, well, they didn't know it was right either, so why should I do that? Okay. Uranus, Uranus, Uranus. And you know what word is in Uranus? Anus. That is right. And that's where we form first. And we need to form beyond that, or else we'll just be an anus the rest of our life. Okay. And that's the stinky, smelly end. Okay. That's the butt end of the deal. Don't you want to be the head, the one that makes the choices, the decisions, not just the bait on the end of the hook that eventually does get devoured? So here's what I'm seeing. 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords. You got to divide it, because here's what flipped. What flipped is the 3 of Swords. This is about you being in command, but what's wild is you're wielding the sword, causing a lot of heartache, not just on yourself, but on others. Okay? And you're letting me know there's some disrespect of that towards your energy. It could also be that you're entertaining those who do this. You could flip the story around. But this seems to be very specific and have a strong thrust. So I would say if you're showing up here and this is somewhat resonating, but you're like, no, this is what's being done to me. Yes, you're hearing that correctly, okay? And always trust yourself, but that's true trust, not this wavering thing, changing every day like the moon, like the hours on the clock, right? Ooh, who volunteered here? Moving on up is 6 of Pentacles, like the meerkats. Learning to take a stand for what you believe in. Learning to take a stand for what you believe in. And the first thing, 3 of Swords, is now using this as a sword of power, of clarity, to say, believe in yourself. Stop using yourself. And stop allowing yourself to be used. That's the trick of the Libra, of the scale of the balance. They're saying, implore yourself, call to yourself, stir yourself up to take a stand for your beauty, for your divine beauty, for your real giftings. Okay, let's see who's next here. And that brings in this strength, this crown of intelligence, of divine knowing, of luck, of blessing. Oh, it's like, look at that, right between, look between the glitter things back there. That's like Christmas energy going on in here. And making your stamp on life. Making your stamp on life. Remember, this moon showing that the better part of you has yet to be explored or discovered. And that's not because of the number of years that you have. It's where you've been putting your time and your attention and your body. They're wanting you to get into your intelligence. Not just the beauty of your body. Not just the skin deep, because beauty is truly inside and out. It's the whole of you. It is what makes you magnificent and divine. And look at this, 10 of Swords. Ooh. Now see, that's what's wild. For so long, you've been playing this game, and they're like, stop being played, because eventually, like in Russian roulette, when this was in the olden days, and it's just a game, y'all. All right. Disclaimer. Eventually, when that gun is clicked enough, one of those chambers is going to make its way around to somebody. something, someone. And we're not talking about a gun. We're talking about these decisions that we make, these things that we entertain. You're like, I'll come back from it. I'll come back from it, because the starfish can lose a limb, and regenerate. But if they lose their heart, they lose their life. And this can mean your lifeblood, your inspiration, the truth of who you are. Choose you, friend. Choose this path of self-discovery. It opens up everything: community, family, a world of love, independence, self-sufficiency, resiliency, emotional intelligence, maybe even someone who helps guide others through challenging waters and difficulties because their light is so bright. And that's talking about you, friends. So anything else? I'm just going to ask something else about this Ten of Swords, because it's really right here out in front of you. And I think it's just serving as a bit of a warning, is like, stop dealing the death blow to your heart. All these little decisions that I know I shouldn't, but, or justifications, end up leading you to this ultimate, like, loss of self. They're using other words, but we can't use those words in this day and age, so I'm not going to. Losing yourself, all right? And they're talking about stop playing the slots. You're playing the odds. Playing the odds and hoping that it pays off and that it pays out. Dare I remind you, while there's still time, show the world the real you. Choose you, friend. You are worth it. You are beautiful. You are divine. It is worth it. There's so much more ahead of you. And look at the strength of these cards. Look at this. This goldness, beauty, and this radiance, this empowerment, this knowing of oneself, the divinity that is here. Life is voting for you. Life has chosen to bring forth this message to help you, okay? If you are still here, consider like, sharing, and subscribing. You could also comment and compliment down below. Let us know you stopped by here. And also, no matter what, know that I love you. I vote for you. I look forward to seeing the true you come forward into this world, celebrating yourself, divining yourself, and enjoying your life in true joy. I appreciate you. Bye.